All right, welcome everybody to the Wednesday afternoon team call. Super excited today because I've been working really hard on creating a marketing calendar where we can work better together as a team. Um, I had a short-term goal of getting that set up before September and being able to educate you guys and teach you guys on it before the end of September. But I want you guys to know the long-term goal. By long-term, I mean 6-month goal that I have is I am giving some hired help to build a team training website with the goal of having a marketing calendar every month where we'll be able to access. I'll put them in the team call in the team page like I always do. It's just so you guys know right now, just to show you where it's at. It's in the team, both of the team pages, it's the banner. So you just click on the banner and that's what we're looking at right there. So my long-term goal is to have a team training website where there's going to be a marketing calendar like this each month. I'll get it prepared every single month. I'm gonna actually create the groups. For example, we'll go through this, but you can see there's a team challenge group. There's a new coach group GSR. There's a coach open house, which would be a Facebook Live event. So to give you guys an idea, what the goal is inside of that team training website, I will have those groups and those events created before the month even starts. Inside the training website, we'll have the marketing calendar like this, along with links to the team challenge group, link to the event page for our coach sneak peeks and coach open houses and everything like that. So the month before we start a month, we know exactly what we're focused on, what we're doing together as a team, and we have one place that we know that we can access that. And it will also be something that you can plug your coaches, your brand new coaches into. Okay, it's like it'll be somewhere you can, like, yes, you're going to train them one-on-one. I want you to do a getting started right call with them one-on-one. I want you to mentor them one-on-one because I want you to be their leader. But I also want to have a system in place for those of us that are super busy, that want to build a team and recruit, and have something to plug into and have some help from. For example, I use Beth Isbell. She's a 1-star diamond on our team. She does a Emerald in 24-hour training once a month. I use that, for example. And it just helps, if she's going to put that time in and do that training once a month for an hour, why should I do the same training if we're going to talk about the same thing? So we can work better together as a team. I had these ideas. I've been talking to coaches that have them in place. And I was chatting with Karen White. She's one of my diamond coaches. She hits Success Club every single month. And she's been with us a couple years. And she's a diamond coach. And she's recruiting challengers every month. And she hasn't really been recruiting coaches as of late. And I was just asking her, why aren't you recruiting coaches? What's holding you back? She's like, I just don't have time to right now with my being the Relief Society president at church and my new job role, taking care of all these kids. I just have this like an hour pocket of time a day that I can really build this business and still raise my family and do this. And so it got us thinking, why don't I do a group, would it help if I did a group getting started right call every single month or twice a month, to where, yes, you can have your one-on-one connection with them and they can ask you personal questions, but I can do the in-depth beginning new getting started coach right call where I teach them the basics, teach them how to tell their story and to put their business out on social media. And we get that first step out of the way. So we're going to talk about that today and why that's there in place. But I wanted to share that because if we want to be more effective as a team, we got to be innovative and always be willing to change. There's no reason that all of us, there's thousands of us on this team, are all doing the exact same thing separately when we could be doing them together. So, that leads into the coach open house. Maybe you're super organized and you know how to make systems and charts for checklists and all that stuff. Use that gift and that talent by sharing those with the team. And maybe you're not the best at recruiting, but you can have, let's say you're not good at selling or recruiting or closing a sale, but you're amazing at telling your story and building friendships. Then that's why we do coach open houses, where we get 5 or 6 people that sell challenge backs and recruit coaches every single month. We can do that selling part for you, which isn't really a salesy way that we do it, approach, but a way that influences them to make the decision for themselves. So we're doing coach open houses for that reason, because that's my strength. If I get on the phone with somebody, I can close 75% of them on a challenge pack or coaching. And so if your numbers are, I can close 1 out of 10, why not plug them in to let me do the closing for you? And then obviously they join your team. So that's my strength. So the idea of the marketing calendar is so that we're all on the same page with that, with recruiting, with training new coaches, with running challenge groups. Those are the 3 main things that we need to do. We need to recruit for challenge group and for coaches, and recruit coaches for your team and recruit challengers. Then we need to make the challengers have a good result. And then we need to help the coaches get results as well. So we have the coach open house to help you guys recruit coaches. Then we have the team challenge group as a way for brand new coaches, or let's say, I'm looking at Brooke. Let's say Brooke is like, I'm going to run a challenge group. I'm going to run a Lift 4 challenge group on September, like let's say 17th or 10th. And she recruits. And let's just say she only finds 1 person and her goal was 5. Now, Brooke doesn't want to run a group with 1 person. It's just not fun and exciting. So what I want to do is be able to have a team challenge group that starts once a month, where new coaches that are coming in can plug in their challengers and help them get a good result. The one thing, though, is I'm not going to run it 100%. I want you guys running those groups together. So I see like 4 of you guys on the screen right now. For example, what it would be is maybe Brooke takes a week. Let's say if you want to participate in it, for example, if you're running your own groups, that's totally okay. You can duplicate this for your own team as you bring on coaches and bring on challengers. But if you don't have that yet and you want to participate, what it would be like Hannah and Brooke and Hannah all take turns running that group. So I'm looking at new coaches. Some of you guys have phone numbers, so I can't see all your names. I see Lindsay, Hannah, Eric, Brooke, and Brandon are the names I see. Let's say you guys are the ones. You're like, okay, Scotty, I want to help run the challenge group in September. I have a challenger. I want to help run it. If you guys each had 1 or 2 people and all 5 of you ran the group, you could each be in charge of making sure the post goes up every single day for the week. And then each person in that challenge group takes care of their own person. So the idea of that, and we'll go more in depth, would be, Brooke, if you have 1 person in there, let's say we have 40 people in there as a team, and let's say I'm running the group that week. Let's say I run it from the 2nd through the 8th. I'm going to do the main post, maybe teach something, maybe do a live video, but your responsibility, because you brought somebody in there, is check every single day for your customer, for your customer's post, and make sure that you're engaging with your customer, and don't count on me to do it or Hannah or somebody else. You do that, but you have a place where your customer can thrive a little bit better with more energy. So does that make sense? Is that helpful on what we want to do with that? Okay, and if you guys have questions, just hit them up on the chat box or unmute yourself and talk with me about that. So, and Sammy has a question. My lady is doing 21-day fix. Are we limited to Lift 4 only in the group? Absolutely not, Sammy. This will be, the Team Challenger group will be for anybody doing any program. The only requirement that I'm going to ask is this is a fully invested group. They have to have either DVDs or Beachbody on demand, and they have to either use Shakeology, the Beach Bars, or the Performance Line. Because I don't want it to be where, let's say, Lindsay hits Success Club 6, gets 3 people on a challenge pack, and she brings them in, and then it would be like me being a new coach. I just bring 30 people in that didn't buy anything, and they're in there for free. Right? We want fully invested people in the Beachbody challenge, doing a nutrition, following the meal plan, and using one of our workouts. That's what the Team Challenge group is for. Now, if you run your own separate group that's a freebie group, that's on you, and you're more than welcome to do whatever you want with your business. But the Team Challenge group, that's the standard. That's what we're going to hold to, is they have to purchase for that. So let's go through this step by step, and then you guys ask questions just like you have so far. We ran a coach sneak peek on August 12th last month. As you guys know, I coordinated with a few of our diamond coaches. There were 7 of us. We all did, we planned it. We did a group chat thread discussing topics, ideas, how to invite. We each got our teams to invite. We hosted the event, and we failed in a way in the fact that half the live videos went in the event, half of them went out of the event. So We learned from that. We're going to do a coach open house on the 5th, which is a week from today. So that will replace our team call. So take note of that. It's at 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. I don't have Mountain Time on there, but 8 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time. Sorry, UK, that is in the middle of the night. So Hannah, I see you with your little smile there. So feel free to message me if you want, and we will adjust calendars, or you, Chris, and Sammy can host your own UK one, and I would be more than happy to participate in that because it's during my normal work day. If you guys do 7, 8, 6, 7, 8, 9 o'clock, I'm free to schedule anytime you guys want. So if you guys host one in the UK and do that, I will be willing to hop on that and participate with you guys. So Coach Open House is going to be at 8. We're going to use a Facebook Live event, as well. The only difference is we're going to be using a Zoom link inside of the marketing calendar in the team website I build in the future. And right here, I will have the link for the event at least a week prior, so we can have the event up. Some tips to make the Coach Open House more effective is invite, get them to click going, because if they click going, even if they can't be on it live, and this goes for you guys in the UK as well, if they've at least clicked going, when they wake up on the 6th, they can then watch it the next day as long as they've been in the group. They can see everything in the event and then come back and watch it. We'll post the recording in there. They can come back and watch it as well the next day. So we'll do a Zoom link inside of there. That'll be cool because we'll have 5 or 6 people speaking, and we'll just be able to pass it off. Let's say I share, and then Lindsay shares, and then Brooke shares. Everybody's in one spot. Everybody can see everybody's faces, and they can see everybody what we're doing. So I encourage you guys to be on there live with your prospects, engaging, working in the Zoom group chat, commenting, giving shout outs to the speaker, all of that stuff, because your prospect is going to be watching everything. They're not going to be just listening. They're going to be watching for the engagement and the teamwork, which is what they're looking for. So that's the Coach Open House. We're going to do that in September on the 5th. We'll work backwards that week. On the 4th, we have at 7 o'clock p.m. Mountain Time, Beth Isbell is doing a Emerald in 24-hour training. So if you've never been through one of those yourself, they're pretty much identical every time she does one. If you haven't been through one, I encourage you to hop on it. And then I encourage you as well, if you have a new coach or a coach who isn't engaged yet or a coach who wants to get engaged, that you encourage them to get on the Emerald in 24-hour call with Beth. It'll also be recorded. So for example, even though I know how to do a Getting Started Right call with my coaches, I still plug my coaches into Beth's Emerald in 24-hour training, because then they get 2 different perspectives. They might relate to something Beth says better than they relate to what I say, for example. And if, let's say I sign up a coach after the coach sneak peek on Friday the 7th, what I would do is I would send them Beth's Emerald in 24-hour coach training or recording for the Emerald. So that's what we have. Quick reminder as well, we have on the 3rd is Labor Day. That's the Diamond Push group officially starts. Okay. I made a little modification to the rules today for brand new coaches. So if you're a brand new coach, by brand new coach, I mean you started after we announced the Diamond training. Okay. So the qualification to be in the Diamond Push group is you have to have 4 active coaches, and then you have to have 1 Emerald coach. Okay. And if you have questions on that, personally, private message me later and we can talk about that. You have to do that. If you were a Diamond coach that fell out of your rank and you're no longer Diamond and you want to be in the Diamond Push group, you have to sponsor 2 new coaches in August. You have to show us that you're building and sponsoring recruiting to your team to be in the Diamond Push group with us. So those are the rules. So I made a new rule today. It's like, what do you call it? Like what's the word? Like, someone's got to tell me. I made an exception to the rule for brand new coaches, meaning we announced this group in June, or early July. So if you signed up after we announced it in July or August, and you recruit 3 coaches in August, you can be a part of the group. Okay, because you're brand new You know, you didn't have as much time as everybody else before to prepare for this. You're learning everything fresh from scratch. And if you recruit 3 coaches in the month of August, you can be in the Diamond Push group with me. You just need to let me know that you've done that and show me that you've done that, and I'll add you to the list. It's going to be, this push group is going to be very intimate and small, led by David and Kristen Atkins, myself, and my coach, Lindsay Matway. So that group starts on the 3rd, which is Labor Day. We're actually going to officially start on Thursday. On Tuesday, guys, there's not going to be any training in there. Like, no training in the push group. It's going to be action. Show me who your people are. Let me help you talk to them, and let's get them on your team type of action. Like, that's the sole focus. So it's going to be awesome. You're going to have to check in every day. We're going to grind it out. So, okay, that takes care of the first week of September. The next week you can see, I put these little notes on here as well. I want you to take note of on our marketing calendar. Just a reminder of what it takes to build this business. Do your workout, drink your Shakeology, read your personal development, talk to people, share your story, invite them to do steps 1 through 4 with you. That's all we do in this business. That's how simple it is. And then also a reminder to share value on your social media. Teach and add value to people. The more value you add to people, the less price objections you're going to get in selling a challenge pack and having someone join your team. Okay. Week 2, we have, you see this little note here on the 5th too. I want you guys to start aiming higher for your goals, because you guys know how it is with procrastination. If you don't have a deadline on your goal, you're more than likely not to hit the goal. But if you do hit the goal, you're going to hit it at the absolute last minute. So my personal goal is Success Club 10 by the 10th, and then to have Gabby in Success Club by the 15th. That's my own standard for myself. I'll tell you one of the reasons I do that, because I don't ever want to be, and I've had to do it a few times over the past 89 months, that I have to offer a gift card or a special deal or try to twist someone's arm on the last day of the month. I don't want them to join because I'm doing that to them. So I set my goals specifically for my own standards of how I want to run my business, of not having to try to do things to force people into something for my own gain, which would be Success Club, right? So that's why I go for Success Club by the 5th. So I have a little target here, hit Success Club by the 5th. And then on the 10th, I have hit Success Club by the 10th. Just a reminder for you to aim higher and to aim earlier in the month for that. One thing that does for me when I do that, I want to share with you guys, my phone calls, my prospect calls are so much more relaxed when I don't have a number to accomplish, when I've already hit that. And it also gives me more freedom. It like releases me in a way to do more of the things that I know I should be doing. Like, instead of scrambling to hit a number or Success Club, my mind and my vision is more open to who do I need to contact to grow my business? Which coach do I need to mentor today? Who do I need to reach out? Who do I need to give the recognition to today, when I'm not thinking about me, how do I hit Success Club? You can put the attention on mentoring and coaching other people. Guys, the reason, just a simple example, why is the marketing calendar in place already a week before the end? Because I hit Success Club early. Like, I hit Success Club 50 last month. I'm at Success Club 16 this month and 6 for Gabby. So I have the time to just freely plan on execution for the next month and how to make the team better. Does that make sense on the importance of hitting your goals earlier in the month to help you grow your team? Okay, so this one I'm super excited about. On the 11th, on Tuesday, we're going to do a new coach group getting started right call at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. So 7 o'clock UK time. Here's what that is. And I'm just going to throw this out there, guys. If you are like, let's say, Hannah, you're in the UK and you got this girl that is super excited about being a coach, but she just hasn't made the choice yet. Bring her to a new coach getting started right call and say, like, I'm just going to bring you and let you see, like, how my coach trains us before you're even a coach. Like, what better kind of sneak peek or open house is there than say, hey, come see what kind of training and support you're going to get on this team, and just come listen. You don't have to say anything. You can even black out your screen. Nobody has to know you're there. Turn off your video. I don't care. Just come listen, or come there and ask questions just like a brand new coach would. So basically the idea of that is I'm going to basically do in a group form. I'm going to answer questions. Like when I started getting started Right Call, I've already put my coach through Emerald in 24-hour training. Right now, I've already sent them my Stim Social Instagram training, and I've had them do the first 30. And then we do the Getting Started Right Call, and I start out with saying, how do you feel? What questions do you have? Are you overwhelmed? Are you excited? What are you feeling? Tell me, what are you struggling with? What do you not understand? And I just answer questions. So the new coach group Getting Started Right Call, that's what I'm going to be doing with your coach. And I mentioned at the beginning of this call, kind of the vision for starting that was, for example, someone like Karen right now that just doesn't have time. She's not recruiting coaches specifically for the reason of I don't have time to get on and do a 1 hour Getting Started Right call with a new coach because I only have an hour to do my own running my challenge group, inviting, adding value on social media right now. So that's why we're starting that. It's just I don't want it to be a thing where you just unplug and have no responsibility in training your coach because they're going to look at me as their leader. I don't want that. I want you to be their leader. But if it helps you, bring them. Like Lindsay, I see you nodding. Like if you sign a coach, you get them to do the first 30 training or Beth's Emerald in 24-hour training, come with them to the new coach Getting Started Right call. Like get on there and let's say I see you and I see your new coach and I don't recognize them. I want you to introduce them. Hey, this is my new coach. This is what she's done. And we'll go from there. So that's kind of what I want it to be, just a group atmosphere for learning for new coaches. Then you'll see that we have a team call just as normal, Wednesdays at 12 o'clock Mountain Time. I have that scheduled out for the rest of the week on Wednesdays like that. The only one is the first week of September on the 5th. We're going to be doing the coach open house at night. So there won't be a team call in the afternoon. Just, I want you guys taking the entire day, Wednesday, following up and reminding your prospects to be on at the coach open house with us. Okay, the other thing is we have a second new coach group Getting Started Right call on the 25th. So it's basically every other week is my plan and my vision. We'll adjust the calendars each month as we go, guys. If we see that it fits better here or this call fits better here, we'll adjust it as we go. But this is the plan for September. And then I just put a quick reminder that the National Wake Up Call is every Monday at 9 o'clock a.m. Eastern Time. And a little star, if you want to build a business and a team, you're going to want to get to the place of sponsoring and signing up 3 to 5 coaches a month. 3 to 5 coaches a month. People ask me, like, what did you do to build your business in the first year? I built a 6-figure income in 14 months. I worked really hard at sponsoring coaches and hitting Success Club 10. I hit Success Club 10 every month. And I'm going to tell you a little secret, though many of you guys are newbies that you don't know. We didn't have challenge packs when I start. I know I sound like a dinosaur when I say that. But literally how the Success Club point system worked back then was if you got someone on Shakeology Home Direct, you got 1 Success Club point. If you signed a coach up with Shakeology Home Direct, you got 2 points. Okay? I want you to let that sink in. Why did Scotty recruit so many coaches in his first year? My goal was Success Club 10. What that meant is I could go on a free trip to Atlantis with Gabby, and it meant possibly that I could have a $10,000 income and bring my wife home from work. So that's why I hit Success Club 10 every month. Committed to it. Then when I looked at the Success Club rules back then, Shakeology Home Direct new customer was 1 point. A new coach on Shakeology Home Direct was 2 points. Guys, as a new coach, it was freaking difficult for me to find 10 brand new people who wanted Shakeology Home Direct because they had to buy Shakeology Home Direct, then they had to buy their DVDs. And those two things together were about $250. Or I could sign someone up for $40 as a coach, get them their Shakeology at the discount price of $98. So now they're at $140. And then they could use the program that they already had, the P90X they had on their shelf, or the Insanity they had on their shelf, because that's all we had. I sound like a dinosaur saying that. But so why did I sponsor so many coaches? Yes, because I want to hit Success Club 10, and signing them as a coach was easier because I only had to find 5 people versus 10. So that's why I recruited everybody to my team as a coach. But I also loved so much Shakeology and the recognition and the community that I felt from Lindsay as a coach, that I felt that everybody, if they were going to experience Beachbody, they might as well experience. It's like if you have two options, you have this option, this is okay and great, you're going to get results, or you have this option, which is freaking phenomenal, and you can earn free trips and get some commissions and recognition and team calls and grow yourself personally and get the results. Then like what option am I going to offer my friend? So I always was offering them the coach opportunity, because it would be like offering them this off-brand stuff that's not as good versus something that's freaking incredible. Does that make sense? I know either way Beachbody is going to be awesome, but that's why I was recruiting coaches, 3 to 5 coaches a month. I'm going to tell you guys a quick little story. I sponsored 13 coaches before I ever knew what Diamond Coach was. And I was about 80, maybe 78, 80 days into my coaching journey. I had 13 coaches on my team. And Lindsay's like, hey, dude, we're in this team cup right now, and you realize if you go to Diamond, we get another point. And we were going for number 1. We wanted to earn the team cup challenge. And so I was like, okay, tell me what to do to hit Diamond and I'll do it. She's like, well, you need to you have enough coaches by like 7. So now you just need 2 emeralds. She's like, you can make Gabby an emerald. And I was like, well, shoot, Gabby's not signed up yet. So I signed Gabby up and I made her an emerald. And then I helped one of my coaches go emerald as well the next week by doing home parties, old school Tupperware style. Like we did barbecues. It was July when that happened. We did barbecues with my coach, Melissa, and we invited her friends, and 2 of them joined her team as a coach after seeing my results and her vision of being able to walk away from working as a waitress and having her kid in daycare. And she needed to lose the 60 pounds anyway. So why not be a coach and join her on that vision? So that's how I want you guys to know how I went to Diamond. I sponsored almost double what I needed in coaches, because I felt in my heart that everybody needed to be a part of Team Beachbody. So I was not afraid to share that. The passion came out, the excitement came out, the confidence came out, and that's what sold. But there's one cool thing, as I was discussing with David Atkins yesterday about the Diamond group. We were just asking, I was like, he's asking, what did you do to get Diamond? Like, what steps? I was asking him, what did you do to get Diamond? And I was like, you know what happened is my 3rd coach, I had this girl that was excited, but she just wasn't doing it. And I was like, so I know many of our coaches have people that are excited or interested. They're just not pulling the trigger and getting started. And so he asked me, what did you do to make that happen? Like, how did you get her signed up? And I said, I did a 3-way call with my coach. Lindsay Matway did the call for me. I just listened on my break. I walked through I remember the shipping department, the aisles in the tool room, and I just listened to my coach and learned from her on the questions she asked, the confidence she had. She recruited her for me. I sent the link after, and I signed up a coach. And that helped me become more confident in doing that. So that's kind of why we're going to make sure we're doing coach open houses every single month, and why as well. Getting into the Diamond Push group, we're going to do that for you guys as many times as you guys need to. Like Hannah, if you get in the group and you have 20 prospects in September, I'm going to make sure to schedule 20, 30-minute blocks in the month of September to do 3-way video chats with you, if that's what's needed for those of you that earn your spot into the Diamond Push group. So that's what I did. So that's why at the bottom I have signed 3 to 5 new coaches this month. You think of it like a real business. If you're going to be growing your Subway franchise, although you're not signing coaches and employees all the time into your Subway franchise, you need to be bringing new customers constantly in and giving them a good experience if you want to grow that. And I was going to do a YouTube video on this. I'm going to talk about it right now because I know some coaches. I've done some one-on-one calls this week that are struggling with this a little bit. When you're recruiting, why 3 to 5 coaches? Like, why sign 3 to 5 coaches every single month? I think I had experience prior to Beachbody because I led a service department and a shipping department, and I was in charge of the new employees that got hired at this place, okay? They would get hired, their job. I'm going to give you this. I used to talk about this like my first 2 years of coaching all the time, and I haven't talked about it in 6 years. My job was to train the new person on what their job was and hold them accountable to their sweeping job. They swept and they dumped garbages. What I can tell you is all 10, let's say we have 10 new hires in a 6-month period or in a 3-month period. All of them say they're the hardest worker that you'll ever meet when they're in their interview process going through HR. I'm a hard worker. I'm going to show up on time. I'm always going to be here. I'm going to do more than you guys ask. And they tell you all these things they're going to do. And then when they get hired, that doesn't seem to be the case. What I saw in that position is I had about 1 to 4 of them that barely showed up to work on time. That I found, like, where in the heck is Omar and Jason? And I would go out in the shed where they grind metal, and they're out there with their brooms up against their chin, and they're just chatting with each other. It's just a reality of the workforce and people's work ethic. And then I had that's 1 to 4 of them were like that. Taking 10 smoke breaks a day, like sneaking out behind the building and smoking and doing whatever they need to do. And then I had 5 through 8 that they did everything you asked them, but they barely get there on time. And they're washing their hands 5 minutes before the bell rings at the end of the work day. They get their clothes off and they're ready to sprint out the door of their car right when the bell rings and work's over. But they do their job. And then there was 1 or 2 people that show up early. They're in their coveralls, all ready to start pushing that broom right when the bell rings. And they get done with their 8 hours worth of work in 4 hours. And they say, what else can I do? Can I help with anything else? And guess what happened to those guys? I got to move them on through the departments, train them they would get done sweeping. I would train them how to run a CNC machine. I would train them how to do this. And guess who moved up through the company? Those guys. Guess which ones got fired? The ones that didn't show up on time. So guys, there's nothing different between that business and this business. You're going to have people that show up and do exactly what they need to do. We can't fire people, right, when you sponsor coaches and bring on a team. But you're going to have the same thing where there's going to be people coming in who say everything in the world about what they're going to do, but they never show up. Or they're going to say they're going to do everything in the world, but they show up and they're apart and they're having great results and they're fun and they bring a great energy. They have great goals, but they're not going above and beyond. They're not sweeping their floor in 3 hours and doing the next step. They're just doing the basics to get by, and they're going to see success and they're going to be happy for the long term and always be there. And then you're going to have the 1 person or the 2 people that come in and they're like, okay, I did it. What's next? Okay, I did that. What's next? Okay, I signed this coach. What should I do next? Okay, I have this challenger. They're telling me this. What should I do next? Those are the type of people that are going to grow. So I want you guys, first of all, to look at yourself every single night in the mirror and say, which person am I? In that example Scotty gave, which person am I? And then as you're mentoring your coaches, work on identifying those people and helping develop them and take them to the next level as well. Supporting and encouraging and helping and loving on everybody. But if you want to grow your business, you got to put your time and energy into that. Okay, so I know I went on it totally off the calendar there, but seeing the 3 to 5 coaches a month, I wanted to touch on that because I know some people aren't sponsoring 3 to 5 coaches a month because maybe you sponsored 1 coach that didn't do anything and you're like, am I a crappy coach? Am I not doing things right? And that's not the case. I never once saw myself or the CEO of that company say, I don't think we're going to continue being able to build food processing equipment because the last 5 guys that we hired to sweep floors here are just not showing up and doing their job like they're supposed to. Does that make sense? I think sometimes we need a little bit of outside perspective when we're building this business because we're so stuck in the Beachbody world sometimes. Okay, so that's all I have on the marketing calendar. I want you guys to write questions or be ready to unmute yourself and ask me a question. If you guys notice right here, we have the team marketing calendar. I just go through everything right there. Our team calls, new coach GSRs, our coach open houses will all use this same link. So save that in your notes so that you don't have to always ask what the link is. And so you have the link ready to pass on to one of your prospects. So that's the call we're going to use for every single one of those except for the Emerald in 24-hour training. Does that make sense? That way there's not confusion and people hopping on the wrong links. Okay, before I let you guys go, does anybody have any questions? I'm going to stop the share so I can see your beautiful faces. Oh, and by the way, if you have your video on, I learned this, I can't remember who said it, but if your video is not on, we're just going to assume that you're naked and you don't want to be seen. So those of you that don't have your video on, we're just going to assume you're naked. Okay. All right. Does anybody have any questions before I let you guys go on to your invites? Eric's asking if I plan on doing some hunting. I see the fall beard coming on. I just shaved my beard. It was massive. It was a little bit too crazy for me in the middle of summer at like 105 degrees in Salt Lake City. I'm going archery hunting tomorrow, 4:00 a.m. for the opener. So I will be gone tomorrow morning. So with my dad. Okay, Mark says he's not naked. I don't know. Okay, I'll just believe you this time, Mark. Okay, anybody else have any question? Hannah, Hannah Hatch, we're gonna have to work with your camera. Yours is blurred. All I see is a blurred Hannah in the background. There's Sammy. I see you. Okay, Sammy, was that your first challenge pack I saw? So everybody, let's give Sammy a shout out. She sold her first challenge pack this month. I love it. Sammy, can I ask you, can I unmute you, Sammy?
Mm-hmm.
Sammy, what did you do different? I know you and I had a phone call. You had some moments. What? Because you've been a coach since October 2017, and
Yes.
you sold your first challenge pack. What happened? What's the secret?
I think it was just getting on the phone that made the difference. I think there's only so much that you can get across in a text or a message, and I think the quality of what somebody's going to gain through having you as a coach just doesn't come across in a message. It just doesn't come across. I think it's only when you get on the phone and you get chatting with somebody and you actually make those connections, and even if it's been someone you've been talking to for a little while, I think it's only when you actually get on the phone that I think you start to really get that flow, and I think that's what I wasn't doing. I think I was relying too much on messaging and emails and waiting for people to get back to you or following them up and then just not hearing back from people. Yet they still show interest in other ways, sort of, liking or commenting on your stuff. But I think it was that made the difference. So I have lots of invites out for phone calls and things. I've missed a call actually, so that's somebody else. So that's quite exciting.
Yeah.
So I'm hoping that's what's making the difference. Hopefully.
Awesome. Yes, it is making a difference. So awesome. One thing that I've had to adjust is I'm such a creature of routine. Like I have this massive, like in my mind, I have this massive to-do list. I got to sit down and just grind through it. And I would get like I taught you guys on STEM Social, if you watched that or if you haven't yet, someone will fill out my contact me form. I'll get it and I'm like, okay, contact me form. And I'll text them immediately almost. And I'll schedule a call for like tomorrow because I got this list that I got to do of sitting at my computer. And man, when I hit Success Club 30 and then Success Club 50 and then 10 early in this month, like the thing that I shifted was like I just called them, right? If they texted me back and say, hey, this is Elisa, looking forward to scheduling a call, I say, are you free right now? And like just get on the, like for example, Elisa, right now, like Elisa, she's the blue unanswered one right there. Like I called her like 40 minutes before this call and she bought her package already. Now she's asking how to order shake for her husband and how to order the containers on top of that. And I was going to put that call off till Friday, because I'm going to be out with my dad tomorrow. So I was literally even caught myself like almost saying, what time are you free on Friday? And then I was like, no, like I don't need to sit here and like behind my computer and message me on Facebook if someone's ready to talk to me right now. So I just said, hey, are you free right now? And it works so much better.
Yeah.
Get that connection and getting them while they're ready and they're hot and ready and excited. If they're texting you, they got some sort of excitement about it. So
yeah,
that's the first of very many for you, Sammy.
I hope so. I really hope so. Yeah, I do.
Awesome. Well, we're super proud of you. I told you when you got on the phone it would work because every time I see Sammy on a video, like her smile, her voice, like it just makes you feel good. You can't put that across in a message.
No, definitely not. No, it was buzzing. I loved it, actually. I really loved it. I think I was probably, look back, although I'm quite confident talking to people, I think I was probably more shy about that because it's out of my comfort zone. I mean, it just is. And I think that's why messaging instantly seems easier, because it is. You're not sort of, and I think it's realizing that, if you don't know the answer to a question, there's nothing wrong in saying, actually, I'm not sure. I'll find that out, or anything like that. There's nothing wrong with that. But actually, they don't really ask you anything that you don't really already know. The nitty gritty you can come back to, and that comes out later anyway. It doesn't really come out that much in that initial call anyway. It's just a nice, friendly, so friendly call to start with.
When you don't know something, it's actually more empowering. Like I found it easier to recruit, believe it or not, when I didn't know everything. Like I don't know everything right now. There's still things I have to learn. And I use it. Like I had someone ask me, how much is because I'm selling Beachbody on Performance Lift 4 Challenge Pack. Like that's what I'm doing day after day after day, or the performance line. They're like, how much is it for the mega pack? And I was like, hey, I don't know right off the top of my head. Let me figure that out. And then I'll text it over to you after. I had a girl from the UK order a challenge pack the other day. And I was like, it had been a minute since I sold Shakeology in the UK to someone. I've sold challenge packs at 199 pounds, but I didn't know the specific price for Shakeology alone off the top of my head in pounds.
Mm-hmm.
And so like, I just told her, like on the phone, I was like, hey, can you give me a minute? I don't remember. Let me go get my computer. And I was on the phone and I was like, my kids probably took it. And I'm talking to her because she has kids. And I'm like on the phone with her. I'm like, Kina, where'd you put my computer? She's like, oh, she brought it, and the girl was like laughing because it's like something her kids would do, so it's just like even more relatable.
Yeah.
Like, give me a minute, I can't multitask. Let me just type. It'll take me like 1 minute.
Yeah.
I today got the price. Like, okay, your price is, and I told her. And so it's like it's empowering also, especially in a coach opportunity call, because you're showing your prospect they don't have to know everything to get. Right.
Yeah.
Cool.
Yeah, and I think the relatable things, that's really true, because I think in the beginning you're so hung up on getting everything right and everything just be spot on as it should be, but actually, again, that's not real life, is it? And I think, again, that's what people want to see, that you're not perfect and all of that jazz. So I think I think it is just being relatable and having a sense of humor, and not every day is perfect, that sort of thing.
Absolutely. Thank you, Sammy. I got like 10 more minutes maybe before my prospect call. Well, I'll have to like down a shake, use the restroom, but then get on my prospect call. So we got 10 minutes. Hannah Hatch, I'm going to unmute you. So Hannah, I know you typed, I want to give a shout out to Hannah, not just for hitting Success Club 6 and Emerald in her first 2 weeks, but because like when we did the Success Club shout out, she like taught us exactly, like she typed out what she was doing and what's working. That's leadership, is teaching when you find something that works for you, teach it to other people. So thanks, Hannah. Hannah, can you share with us a little bit of what's working for you? Like as a brand new coach?
I think it's just pretty similar to what Sammy said. You guys can hear me, right?
Yes.
Okay. Of just being a friend to people and just finding something to relate to them with. I'm not very good at actually being like a sales lady, but I'm good at being a friend. So I just try to like build a connection there. I don't know. I like pretty things. I try to like relate my Instagram to be like something pretty to look at, to pique somebody's interest. That's kind of been like what's helping me get success. But yeah, I think it's just a matter of being a friend first to somebody, be a resource, and not try to force them into like what you want for them, but help them realize what do they want for themselves, and then being a guide to get them to that point.
Ooh, I like that. Being the guide to get them to where you want. Thanks, Hannah. One thing I want to recognize about Hannah as well, one thing I want you guys to know is I hear this all the time. So if you've said this, don't feel bad, because like 90% of my coaches say it. And even downline coaches and coaches on, well, here's the funny thing. Coaches from other teams don't say it. You guys say it. Not you guys, but some of you say like, oh, I would have come to you to ask, but I know you're so busy. I hate that. Like, I hate hearing that. I want you to think about if you had a challenger or a coach. You sponsor a coach, a challenger, and they're struggling with something, and you don't know they're struggling because they don't tell you. And then one day they're like, oh, I didn't tell you because I didn't want to bother you because you're so busy. Would you want someone to say that to you? You wouldn't. So I'm the same way. Like, I just like every single one of you guys want connection, like in this business. So when you have questions, I know Lindsay does it very well. Hannah's brand new. She's always doing it, and I love that. She's like, I got ghosted. Is that a word? She's like, I got ghosted by like 8 people that were interested. I'm like, yeah, that happens like all the time. People will disappear. And then because she said that, I did what I got to love. As I got to do what I love as a coach, which is talk to my people, whether it's a challenger, a prospect, or a coach. We had a 10, 15-minute chat about my experiences with people doing that, what I do to re-engage them and bring them back into the fold, I guess. So ask a question when you have them, because I love getting on the phone. Remember, my goal is hit Success Club 10 by the 10th. So it literally gives me the rest of the month to hop on the phone with anybody that needs the help. So don't forget that, okay? Okay, anybody else have any questions? Okay. All right. Well, we'll end this call out. This was recorded, so if it's going to help anybody on your team know and understand about the marketing calendar and the opportunities for the coach sneak peeks. So if you look at that calendar, the main focus we need to work on right now, obviously finishing out your month with Success Club if you're not there yet. We got 3 days. You can make it happen in 3 days if you do what Hannah and Sammy talked about and get on the phone. I'm going to give you guys, I fell short with Gabby's business. My business was crushing it on Success Club this month. Gabby's was at Success Club 4 yesterday. And so I want to show you guys exactly what I do. Here's my calendar yesterday. Steve, Lisa, it's just David, Gail, back to back to back phone calls. And 2 of them actually followed through and bought a challenge pack. And one of them's interested in coaching, was supposed to order, but they didn't. But you can't just sit back and message people hoping it's going to happen. You got to talk to people, get on the phone with them, let them hear your excitement. So you got 3 days. I guarantee you. One thing I want you guys to know about Steve, Lisa, David, Gayla, Celestina, and Charles, all of them I didn't know in person, and that was my first ever connection with them other than the simple back and forth on Instagram after watching my little 3-minute test group video and just then getting on the phone with them. Charles is like, dude, I don't know how you ended up on my Facebook or on my Instagram, but I want to be a stay-at-home dad too, and I love health and fitness, so will you show me how to do it? Like, just because I'm doing what I taught you guys on Instagram, I talked to him for like 30 minutes. It was the coolest call ever. Like, I want you guys to know how cool this business is. Like, I got on the phone and I'm like, and then you make, like, if you share the P90X, because he knows what P90X, and they buy it from you, you make a 25% commission. He's like, what? You make 25% commission? And I'm like, yeah. It was like just so fun and exciting to share this business opportunity. And I just made it fun. I was like, dude, you know what's crazy? Before I became a coach, I set myself up as an Amazon affiliate because I didn't know about Shakeology yet. And I was using this weight gainer protein, and I sold like 30 of them to friends. And he's like, what? And I was like, yeah. And here's the crazy thing. I emailed Amazon asking for where my money was, and they're like, and how it worked. And they're like, well, you get a 1.5% commission, and you don't get paid till you make $100 threshold. Then we send you your check. And I was like, so I never got paid. So when I first sold my first bag of Shakeology and P90X, I was like, what? This is freaking awesome. 25% commission versus 1.5. And it's an amazing product. Like, I'm all in. I'm going to do this. And he's like, yeah, this is so awesome. I'm going to talk to my wife. I'm going to do this, whatever it takes. I'm willing to work hard. I need to be healthy myself. And I love serving people. So, and we talked about, I was a missionary. He was a missionary in Argentina. So we told stories about getting robbed at gunpoint in buses and our shoes getting stolen and all that stuff that happens in third world countries. And like, that's what this business is. Like, it's just making friendships, making new friends, and like inviting them on this journey. So don't overcomplicate it. It's really simple. It's hard because people are hard. People can be hard. First, ourselves, changing ourselves, that's the hardest part. And then helping other people understand they can change as well. That part's hard, but the process is simple. Let's not forget that. And let's go out and build the best team in Beachbody. What do you guys say? Let's do it. Okay. All right. We'll see you guys later. Let's invite for that coach opportunity next week. We have 1 week. Make it a goal. Get like 50 people to that event. Because if you can do that, you're going to sign 5 coaches the next month within 2 or 3 weeks after that. So let's get them to that event, and we'll see you guys next week on the Coach Sneak Peek. See you guys.